Good evening. I'm not sure if anybody is going to sign into the meeting tonight because I realized I didn't send a reminder email out, but I will still go through my agenda. I'll probably keep it relatively short, but for those who may want to view it later, please let me know what you thought, and yeah, we'll go ahead and hold the meeting. I do see at least one person has signed in, so thank you for that. And like I said, we'll go ahead and have the meeting and take any questions that we've got. I didn't think I got any in the emails this week, but yeah, so we'll go from here. And let me share my screen. If we go a little quick, then we get done a little early. That's not a bad thing. It's Sunday night and all. All right, so today's the 28th. It's technically our week 3 meeting. I apologize for missing last week, but I will be, maintaining these meetings at 9 o'clock on Sunday evenings for the season. Our typical agenda, we'll talk a little bit about practices, a little bit about games, general topics, and then any questions we'll be able to answer as well. I apologize, I forgot to get on Zoom on my phone, so there's just something I want to bring up once we get down to that. So let's hop into the first one here. Hang on. I want to switch to this. Meetings. Start. Okay. For those who may not have seen it, the new website is out, playwra.com. And it's much nicer looking. Sorry, no audio. Sorry, just getting my phone set up there. So let me bring up the new Intramural Soccer webpage. So it's definitely a lot nicer looking, a lot more streamlined. And let me stop the video on the phone. There's definitely some things I'm probably going to ask to get updated and changed, and that should happen. But if you haven't yet checked it out, it is much cleaner looking, much nicer looking web page than where we were before. And the web pages that were out there are now basically just all links to the web pages here in Play WRA. So one of the things I wanted to just show on the Play WRA website, if you go to the intramural page, and first let me show you how to do that. So when you first go to playwra.com, you're here. So under intramural, go down to soccer and then fall intramural soccer. There's the page, and if you scroll down, it gives the descriptions of the programs, the equipment, and then here's the coaching resources. So I just wanted to once again remind everybody that everything we had up there on the old page is still here. We've got our soccer manual, which I know still needs to get updated. There's some information there about concussion awareness for all of the coaches to review and understand the importance of knowing when your players might be exhibiting concussion symptoms. There is a link to the FIFA laws of the game if you want to go there, but most importantly are the links to these training plan websites. These are really nice websites where Eastern Pennsylvania and Massachusetts Youth Soccer have put together training plans of all sorts, and if you haven't been out on them, they are really nice training plans for each of the different age groups. So like if you pull up the U10, there's a PDF version, and I believe it's got a whole series of weeks all in one document. So, week 1, week 2, week 3, all the way through. I think different ones have different lengths. This one has a full 10-week plan on there. So it's really a nice setup. And then the Massachusetts ones are also really good. And just as a reminder, the U.S. Soccer does offer coaching courses both online and in person. And if you're interested in taking one of those, WRA will reimburse for completed coaching education. Please let me know if you're interested in taking a course before you sign up for it. And then, we're happy to have some certified coaches in the group. So that was that part. The other thing I wanted to bring up with regards to practices is MOJO. For those who are new to the meeting or didn't view the last one, MOJO is an app that is really convenient for coaches that are, kind of looking for things to get their kids doing. And I highly recommend it. We actually have a partnership with them. So if you download and install MOJO, you can affiliate your team in MOJO with WPAIN, and then we do have a couple of training plans out there, but one of the things I wanted to show everybody tonight is hang on, I forgot to set this up, the US Youth Soccer training plan. So I'm going to share my phone's content. So I'm going to share my screen, start the broadcast. All right, so now you're all seeing my screen. So if I come up here and I hop over into MOJO, let me just see if I can get rid of it. What's going on? There we go. There we go. So when I'm here in MOJO, what I did is I created a WRA IM Soccer team. And if I hit the little pencil mark next to it, I can just show you the settings for this team. So it is affiliated with WPAIN Recreation Association, and I've set the age range for the players, the number of players on the team. And once you do that, I can come in here and I created a practice for Wednesday night. So if I go into Wednesday night's practice and I click on that, I can go down here to the bottom where I can plan my practice. So if I select focus area, I can look at practice plans from my organization. And right now we just don't have many. I think this is actually like a U6 or a U8 practice plan that I put together a while back. But what I wanted to show and what I've really been enjoying and really want to encourage people to look into is these down here at the bottom, these US Youth Soccer training plans. So if I click on that one, it basically brings up all of the curriculum that US Youth Soccer has pre-built within MOJO. And these are really great training plans. So if I just click on the first one, it gives me an overview with links to all sorts of interesting articles about, what's going on in the practice that day. It gives you the questions following US Youth Soccer's recommendations for how to coach, how to basically guided question your team so that they can learn from you. But I really like these additional resource links. There's all sorts of articles and videos. It's really nice. And then lastly, it gives you the equipment before it goes through and gives you all of the different events that you'll run in this practice, this training session. It opens with a scrimmage because US Youth Soccer recommends the play, practice, play format. Plus, as a coach, I know that if I'm running a scrimmage to start the practice, kids are excited to get there and they know they're going to be just playing soccer for a while at the start of practice. And so they make a special effort to get there. And then after you scrimmage for a little while, you move to different other sorts of games and then end with an advanced scrimmage. So this is a U14 program. If I had my team set up for 8-year-olds, it would have pulled up the U8 or U10 practice plans. They're really good, and I really recommend taking a look at those additional resources, especially if you're new to coaching soccer. So that's a little bit about MOJO. Excuse me. Somebody seems to have sprayed some pretty potent scent somewhere in my house. I'm not sure what's going on there. So I'm going to go back to sharing my computer screen here. So again, I definitely recommend MOJO. It's really useful. It saves you a lot of time, and the skills games that you play, the kids really enjoy. All right, some things to talk about, especially early in the season, like we are. Technical skills. So I always refer to 6 turns in soccer, and I have a link here to YouTube. This is a playlist that I've created in YouTube that I went through the MOJO videos and pulled up these basic soccer dribbling skills. So let me show you that, and I will put this in there. No, not this one. This is here. So what is dribbling? I mean, it's a total of 9 videos that talk about all the basics of dribbling, and then a bit about some of the skills. And when I talk about the 6 turns in soccer, there's basically 3 parts of your foot that you can really use to turn: the inside of the foot, the outside of the foot, or the bottom of the foot. So, you know, 2 basic ones are the inside turn and the outside turn, where you're just using the inside of the foot or the outside of the foot to make a sharp turn. And then you have the pullback, where you're using the bottom of the foot or the heel of the foot to make a turn. And then the step over, I always consider that a modified outside turn, meaning that you're stepping over the ball, faking like you're going one way, and then taking the other foot to outside turn away from a defender or around a defender. A Cruyff turn, I consider a modified inside turn, where you're faking a pass and then pulling the ball back with the inside of your foot to behind your standing leg. And then Maradona is a modified pullback. It's a spin, anywhere you throw a spin in there. So they kind of build on each other. So that's how I always refer to the 6 turns: inside turn, outside turn, pullback, step over, Cruyff, and Maradona. And these videos, and I will send the link out to this playlist, really go over some of those details. So if you get a chance to go over that with your teams, that would be really good, especially for the youngest teams, the 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd and 4th grade. At U12, they probably have been introduced to most of that. They may not have been introduced it in a organized manner, but it is so it could be good to review with them. As always, tactical understanding, you know, starting from the very smallest kids all the way up, they need to be able to recognize where the open space is. We really want to encourage 1v1 opportunities. If they have a chance to beat a defender on the dribble, let's encourage them to do that. And then on the opposite side of the ball, you know, talk about defensive positioning. You always want to be between the ball and the goal. You know, we can talk about side-on positioning. There's going to be a lot of stuff that you're going to be working with. And for those, you know, 2nd grade and older, if you're working with goalkeepers, definitely talk about maintaining that space or that position between the posts, wherever the ball is. And as always, don't let it go through your legs. You got to get down low, you know, drop a knee to the ground. And again, as we go through these meetings each week, I will put together a playlist with MOJO videos and other videos that can help you teach some of these skills. By now, I'm pretty sure you're all familiar with it. Our first games for the intramural season will start on September 10th. So we're actually off this weekend coming up for Labor Day, and then we'll be starting games the following weekend. We did have a net assembly or goal assembly and net hanging party sort of at the fields today. I really want to thank Chris Donnelly, our field director, our facilities director, with organizing things and getting a group out there. I want to thank Grant Gokenhauer, Steve McElroy, and Andrew John for coming out and joining Chris and myself as we assembled all of our 7v7 and 9v9 goals and hung nets on the 7v7s. We still have to get 2 sets or a set of goals on one of the 2nd grade fields. And we've got to hang some nets on, I think it's the 1st grade boys field, as well as the 9v9 fields. But that should all be done this week, except maybe for the 2nd grade nets, because I have to order more of them. As always, in the game situations, we really want to teach the kids not to be afraid of failure. Just try it, you know, make that pass, take that dribble. You know, it doesn't work all the time, but you know, on those times when they're on the ball and they're trying something and it does work, it's really exciting. So as best you can, teach them not to fear having failed, you know, running into issues. And to support them, make sure that if somebody's dribbling the ball up the field, that the rest of the team is backing them up. So, you know, as one person pushes up the field with the ball, that they have a teammate that's slipping in behind to fill in. Should something go wrong, they're going to have a defender behind them. Attacking points to concentrate on, you know, especially for the young groups, is dribble big versus dribble small. So dribble big when you have lots of room, dribble small when you're getting pressured. And as best we can with all of the ages, look for the open space and avoid the swarm. We don't want the kids getting used to playing swarm ball. We want them to be looking to spread the ball around and find those opportunities to either take on a defender with a dribble or play a give and go to get around a defender, or make a nice through ball play into a teammate that's making it run into space. Definitely want to talk to them about how to find ways to get away from the other team. So as far as defending points, make sure that the first defender gets between the ball and the goal. It seems like it's pretty obvious, but especially at the younger ages, that's tough sometimes. And, they need to be aware of where the ball is and where the goal is. Get them to go side on to the attacker. It's going to mean that they're not going to give up nutmegs, and they'll be able to guide the attacker where they want, which is usually out wide away from the net. And lastly, and this is really hard for a lot of kids, is patience. They gotta let the play develop, and really let the game come to them. I just wanted to repeat the phases of the game. There's 4 phases as illustrated down there at the bottom. Defending. Then when you win the ball back, you're transitioning to attacking when your team has control of the ball, and then transition to defense when you lose it. And we want to try to teach the kids what they're doing in each phase of the game, wherever they are on the field. And it really shouldn't matter if we're playing 4v4, 7v7, 9v9, 11v11. If we're attacking, we're looking to get into open space for a teammate that's dribbling the ball. Or if we have the ball, we're trying to take on a defender if we can, or advance the ball to a teammate that's in a better position. And that's kind of across all of them. And the last bullet point I put up here was formations. A lot of coaches talk a lot about formation, and that's, totally makes sense. We do have 4 different styles of game. 4v4. I recommend the diamond approach, so that the kids get to understand defense, midfield, and forward roles. 7v7. There's a lot of variation that you can go with. You could go with 2 defenders, 3 midfielders, and a forward, and a 2-3-1. You could do a 3-2-1, 3 defenders, 2 midfielders, and 1 forward. Most teams don't go with 2 forwards in a 7v7 formation. 9v9, there's again a lot of variation. You could start defensive heavy with a 4-3-1. So you have 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, and a forward, and then you just need to get your outside backs to really bomb up the wings. You could go with a 2-3-2 if you want to start introducing 2 attackers to the team. So there's variations depending on how you like the game to be played. And then lastly, 11v11. There's more formations there than I could go through in a half an hour. But definitely give some thought both on the team that you have, the players that you have, where they like to play, and how you want them to learn to play as to what formation you adopt. My recommendation is always get them comfortable passing. Anything you can do to get them passing the ball, working together as teammates, and developing their one-on-one skills will make the game more fun for them in the long term and keep them playing longer. All right, general topics, coach bags. I have handed out the vast majority of coach bags. It looks like I still have 10 teams that have not yet received coach bags. Problem is, somehow or another, I'm running out of soccer balls. I did an inventory back in the spring, and I should have had 20 some odd extra size 3s, about a dozen or so size 4s left over, and about 2 dozen size 5s left over. And now I have one bag for size 3s and 2 bags for size 4s left. And I've got like 4 size 5 balls. I'm not sure where they all went. I don't know if coaches have picked up their own gear and didn't tell me about it. So I'm trying to run that down with our facilities person, our what do they call that? Basically the guy who manages the sheds, because it seems like people are helping themselves to our gear and not telling me. So I have a limited amount of stock right now. If there is a team out there that needs a bag and I don't have enough for you, I will go about buying more balls, but I did not expect to have to do that this year. Also, coaches' shirts. I have been at the field the last 2 weekends, and I will be at the field on the 10th, or I will have a group of people at the field at the 10th to hand out coaches' shirts. We're actually out of size small at the moment. We have a good amount of mediums left. We have a ton of large shirts left. I had run out of XLs, but I actually found another box of them. So we do have a good amount of those. And then we still have some double XLs. So if you haven't gotten a coach shirt yet, we should have something to fit most coaches. Okay. So it's 9:20 now. You've been listening to me long enough. I want to open this up to any questions out there or any other topics that people would like to discuss. It looks like we don't have a ton of people on the call, but if anybody on the call does want to throw out a question, please do so, either in the chat or you can unmute yourself.
Hey, no questions for me. Hope you're well. Not dying from whatever it is, the scent that's around your house.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know what that was. I have to find out what my wife and daughter were doing. So have you had any practices with your team yet?
No, tomorrow's the first one for me. Just
Okay.
got back from a little trip that we took.
Nice. I hope it was good. Which age group are you coaching?
First grade.
Okay, so they're playing 4v4 with no keepers, so it's a fun time for them to get out there playing, and definitely concentrate on the drills, on the dribbling skills. If you can, take a look at those MOJO videos; they're really useful. And like I said, I didn't get any particular questions on email, but I am going to post this video up to our YouTube page, and I will share that YouTube page. Again, that is here. I will put the coaches meetings in a playlist for 2022, and I'll share this out with all of the coaches via email this week. But right now, I think that's pretty much it for tonight. As always, if you have questions, please shoot me an email. I'll do my best to respond to it that way, and then also try to include it in this meeting, because it really does benefit everybody to kind of share our feedback, share our lessons that we've suffered through or found ways to get past. So thanks for calling in, and for everybody else, I hope you enjoy the video, and we'll talk again next week. Take care.